welcome back. Real quick, y'all see the new look right here? Yep, talking about the apron. I'd like to thank my friend Pat Stevens. Man, this thing is really, really, really nice. So if any of my friends or their friends need one, you already know where to go. You can hit him up on Instagram, Pat Stevens FTW, and that stands for the winners. So you already know I went there. We'll leave a link just so you can reach out. Thank you again. Back on this thing, we have measured the front. We're square. We've tacked our radiator support to the other radiator support, which is working out great. Back here, we're squared up. I measured it. I'll show y'all later the lines I made to square it up. So now my next thing is I'm gonna use the factory braces under the floor of the 2003, and I'm just gonna weld some square tubing from the factory braces to my body. Actually, not the fender, the body. So the A pillar, pretty much, inner A pillar, kick panels, whatever you want to call them, they're getting welded. So yeah, let's start with that. To the chop saw I go. All right, what I did was I took a 4-inch piece, I stuck it in there, I pushed it all the way back, and I basically took a guesstimate about what it would take. I cut these to 6 3/8. So what I do is I push it back. Kind of lock it into place right there. Once that's locked into place, see, this is my original brace. You see, this is where the body mounts to the frame. So I'm going to use these braces since they're super strong. And I will start with a tack on the body side. Woo. Nice. One more just to hold it. Okay. Now once that's tacked in there, now I'm going to come in here and I'll throw a few tacks in here to make sure that it doesn't move. So I may get in the way for that shot, but it's all good. Okay, I've got about 8.5 inches underneath the floor on the inside of my A pillar. And since it's open on the inside, I'm gonna go ahead and make a plate. And it's 8.5 inches by 6 inches wide. The 6 inches will cover the pinch of the weld, where the spot weld is supposed to be. So I'll make this plate, and then I will drill some holes in it and spot weld it to the A pillar on the inside. And once I get it welded, and then from there, the plan is I will put a brace from here to the floor, and that'll be an extra bracing on top of all the other bracing that I'm going to do to it. It's going to be extra because we will be driving this car, and being a weld inspector at one point in my life, I know that this thing structurally has to be able to handle all kinds of bumps, because I definitely don't drive things nice. So it'll be good. Okay, so this is the piece that I made. I put it down there, I traced it, and it came down to about here, and I figured it went straight down. So I just kind of marked it myself. There's nothing back there, so whatever I make, I'm making the shape as I go. I marked my line, and usually off the top, I go about a 1/2 inch. Since this is structure, I'm gonna do every inch and do a spot weld in there and weld it in there. That way, when I put my reinforcement bar to the floor, from it to the floor, then it's gonna be super strong. So, all right, so now I'm just gonna take this, transfer it to sheet metal, cut it out, drill it out. It's gonna take a minute, but that's the next step. All right, I've got my pieces cut. Now I'm just gonna kind of roughly mark a 1/2 inch. Mark a 1/2 inch. Give us a little idea of where my weld's gonna be. Guess this one. Shutter always goes off. Gotta find the thread to sharpen the paper. Like I said, like a 1/2 inch off the edge, and then let's go an inch after that. Inch apart, inch apart, inch apart. You don't have to be exact on the money. Just needs to be good enough. Now, drill our holes. I always start off with the 1/8 inch. It's kind of like, I don't know, I'm going to say the universal drill bit that everyone uses. But I did collision for a long time, about the first 10 years of my career. And you cannot do any kind of metal work without drilling. This may be overkill. Some of you will say, yo, that's way too much. But I don't care. I'm the one that's going to be driving it. So. Take it back to California and cheese. All right, after the 1/8 inch, it was a little bit bigger. A little bit bigger than, it's almost 3/8. Bigger than 5/16, but smaller than 3/8. And I'll do that all the way, so. All right, so this is the inner rocker or the inner A pillar, and you can see I cut it out. This is a door hinge, lower door hinge. All this was all rotted, so it kind of just broke apart, and I threw it away. I didn't have anything to bolt to. So this one here is going to go right here. And then I'll clamp it pretty much. Make sure it's pretty straight. There's one. See if I can get one on this side. I may not be able to, but I'm sure we're gonna try. Yeah, look at that. 2. That's got me held down pretty good. So, and them holes I made, I'm gonna go ahead and spot weld it in. And we're getting there. Here we go. Probably should have clamped it, but it's all good. Never scared. It's gonna hold anyways. Oh, one more thing I forgot to mention. While you're down here with me, you can see the bracing on the factory floor of the 2003, and you can see my tubing where I welded it all in there, and it'll be attached to here just to hold it, but it will be super strong structurally, which is the main thing. All right, just a little quick, what I just did. Y'all saw me, I cut the plate out, drilled all the holes out. I put it up there where it belonged. I clamped it down where I needed to. And I started spot welding this piece in. So this piece is already in, right here. So anyways, I knew I was gonna use a piece of 2-inch square tubing. So I went on ahead and got another piece of poster board, cut it out 2 inches. Then from there, figured out my shape. So I know this is gonna sit here. Then I figure out my shape to where it's grabbing the bottom of the floor. Also, it's grabbing right here at the bottom where my hand is. So that'll just be an extra reinforcement. I'm not gonna be extra on this, but at least it's gonna be legit. In between this little V right here, I'm gonna still, right here, I'm still gonna have to build a rocker out of it, but we'll get to that later. I'll throw the cameras down there so we can see, so y'all can see what I'm looking at, and go from there. Okay, so there you can see how I did it. And you can see at the top where I cut it, and down here where it is, and you can see where it's spot welded on the inner A pillar. I don't know why I keep forgetting that. So, and then there's my other reinforcement. So far I've got 2 in the center. All right, a quick little rundown about what just happened, what just went on. The radiator support off the 2003 F150 got tacked to the 58 Ford F100. It worked out, it looks great. The front of the floor off the F150 got a couple of braces that will, hold the A pillar in place. I have to weld onto the A pillar because I have no rockers. So I'm making it work. The rear cab corners don't have any inner structure because they were falling apart. So I just cut them out, threw them away. I'm gonna try to use a tool that I saw on another YouTube channel, Full Custom In. He used a tool, and I'm very curious, and I want to try it myself because I've never tried it. So I will keep you posted if I find one this weekend. Man, you guys have been great. Thank you for all your support. Please like, share, subscribe, comment. I'll get to the comments, I promise. And love it, man. Ding that little bell. Until next.